Yes, that's what he has also done on the low. So your Fort Braggs and all your places that was named after Confederate traitors that lost, so much winning. We supposedly love winning around here so much, but for some reason we keep praising these traitorous losers. He's found a slick way to rename these forts after him by finding another soldier that shares the same last name. Don't take my word for it. Let's check it out very quickly because I don't want to spend a lot of time on that.
School kids learn about homonyms, words that are spelled and sound the same but have different meanings. For instance, BOOK. You read a book and book a reservation. Now President Trump is seizing on homonyms for political purposes to bring back names his predecessor removed because they were linked to the Confederacy.
Okay. Not only did this cabinet and has this cabinet demonstrated one thing about DEI, which was that having the best people and the most qualified people was utter BS. This cabinet has also demonstrated at the same time the reasons why those efforts, when I say those efforts, I mean DEI and affirmative action, were in place to begin with, to combat the exact thing you see in this Trump administration. Not only is it not the best people, but these people got these positions based on nothing but loyalty and cronyism to Donald J. Trump. Nothing to do with qualifications. We have a man sitting at the Department of Defense, the head of it, Mr. Pete Hegseth. Unqualified. This guy has been a part-time host / anchor on Fox, a part-time military man with the National Guard, unless I'm missing some active duty activity prior to going into the National Guard, he may. As far as I know, it's just National Guard. So part-time Fox host, part-time military man, part-time husband, if you believed any of the confirmation testimony about his behavior in the workplace. Okay. But the funny thing about this is we almost had an attorney general that was even less qualified. Okay. Both in the courtroom and morally speaking, with the original frat man, grown man as a frat boy, Matt Gaetz, until he pulled himself out of the running. So let's think about that. Matt Gaetz was almost our attorney general. We have Pete Hegseth as the Department of Defense secretary, who's part-time on everything, no extensive military background. Besides, he made it to major in the National Guard, which you can do in your sleep. How do I know? I was in the National Guard, tanker. M1A1 Abrams. So tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Pete Hegseth literally is what Vivek was talking about when he got into that spat about not being qualified. He said in the States, because he grew up here, that what do? We praise the jock and the homecoming queen, and we don't care about the math wizard, the debate person. And what did he say? What did he use as an example? Saved by the Bell. He was like, we glorify the Zach Morrises. Guess what? Pete Hegseth is Zach Morris. Pete Hegseth has done nothing to make this military better except for the crowd with the sensitive eyes. The crowd that is quick to tell everyone else that they're snowflakes, that they have victim mentalities if they bring up any issues. This particular individual, for some reason, can't stand to see women and people of color actually contributing to this country. Why am I saying that? That is the only thing Pete Hegseth has done since he's been in office. Is erased everyone that doesn't look like Clint Eastwood or John Wayne. He's erased all of their contributions. And bolster the fact that the lineage of the Department of Defense secretaries show multiple war heroes with ridiculous decades of active duty and wartime service in the Marines, in active Army, CIA heads. These people's qualifications to be Department of Defense secretary. Let's check them out right quick. And then I want to show you something else that's not there that also bolsters what I was just talking about. Let's check it out. What it was is what it was supposed to be. It brings me back to how I got to this in the first place, as far as one of the few things that Secretary of Defense, Mr. Pete Hegseth, has managed to do, which is erase everyone. The previous dang on Secretary of Defense, you have no information on his bio. None at all. None at all. None at all. Look at that. None at all. Except he served January 22nd of 2021 dash. That's all it says. Nothing else. Nothing else. Everyone else had their extensive military education, career, everything, etc., etc. But for some reason, this hurt someone's eyes. Some snowflake hurts when they see this. I don't know why, because these are the people that tell us how patriotic they are. They put flags all over their cars, flags all over their homes, and they love America. I challenge that. They love the section of America that reflects them. Most of them don't seem to actually love the concept of America. They don't love the melting pot. Because for some reason, when the melting pot does what you ask them to do, which is to assimilate and try to be the best versions of themselves, they get erased. And then on top of that, what has Mr. Pete Hegseth done? Mr. Pete Hegseth has also done some slick stuff that helps these people whose eyes hurt when they have to see women or dark people produce. Again, doing what you think you guys want us to do. Don't want to see it. But what you do want to see is all your old Confederate named forts come back. Yes, that's what he has also done on the low. So your Fort Braggs and all your places that was named after Confederate traitors that lost, so much winning. We supposedly love winning around here so much. But for some reason, we keep praising these traitorous losers. He's found a slick way to rename these forts after him by finding another soldier that shares the same last name. Don't take my word for it. Let's check it out very quickly because I don't want to spend a lot of time on that.
School kids learn about homonyms, words that are spelled and sound the same but have different meanings. For instance, BOOK. You read a book and book a reservation. Now President Trump is seizing on homonyms for political purposes to bring back names his predecessor removed because they were linked to the Confederacy. Jim Axelrod has tonight's Eye on America.
For the second time in less than 2 years, the largest U.S. military base has a new name.
Today we honor a hero worthy of the name Bragg.
The new name is also its old name, Fort Bragg, which for more than a century honored General Braxton Bragg, a Confederate general and slave owner. Donald Trump made a promise that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth kept.
That's right. Bragg is back.
All right, so erasing us, changing forts from former Confederate losers back to the exact same name, but just using a different soldier. Thanks, Pete. I feel safer. I'm sure certain people in the military are celebrating that. Certain people. So kudos there. What else has Mr. Hegseth managed to do? God dang it, I forgot. The other thing he's managed to do that also shows he's not freaking qualified is some kind of way he keeps leaking slash texting war secrets, war plans, war strategy over this freaking Signal app. That's old news, my friend. No, it's not. He just did it again. Oops, he did it again. Mr. Qualified, Mr. Zach Morris at Department of Defense, everybody. Let's not take my word for it. Let's check it out.
Pentagon's acting inspector general has announced an investigation into Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's use of the Signal messaging app to discuss military plans in Yemen.
Did the defense secretary and members of the DOD break the House rules regarding things like using apps like Signal in the first place, and whether that information should be retained into official records? So Democratic Senator Jack Reed, who sits on that committee, he was among the first of those who requested the inquiry. He weighed in, releasing a scathing statement saying that the potentially deadly consequences from Secretary Hegseth's blunder, those are his words, they're chilling, and had the intelligence in that chat and those messages been obtained by the Houthis or anybody else, would have allowed them to reposition weapons to target pilots. And that's key to this inquiry. He goes further by saying that the information first reported by CBS News that Israelis provided intelligence used in an airstrike to target what they call a high-value terrorist target, that compromised an Israeli intelligence source, and they're furious about it as far as who provided the location of that target. And it says that would have damaged relationships with America's allies, and Reed called it reckless behavior.
Be long-winded about this, but I just find it very interesting that almost in one foul swoop, so to speak, this cabinet has done two things that they've pretty much been screaming about or screaming against all summer leading into the election and after they won. And number one, they claimed that we had to get rid of DEI because we only want the best people for the job, the most qualified people for the job. Number two, this cabinet keeps highlighting the reason for initiatives like affirmative action and DEI in the first place, because when you start divvying out resources like jobs, like education, people tend to lean towards those that they identify with, those that may happen to be in their family. Nepotism. Those that may happen to have been loyal to their causes. Cronyism. This cabinet is rife with that. And now all of us citizens have to sit back and deal with it for the next 3 years. So that's just my 2 cents. Please jump in the comments and tell me how wrong I am. Until next time, peace and stay informed, because I know it's coming.